Hello, my name is Niall Tude and welcome to LBS Alumni. Our topic today is the A3 analysis phase. This is all about finding the cause without assumptions. In many cases, it's finding multiple causes. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to make sure that we select the right route to implementing and getting results. If we look at the make, analysis stands alone in the make phase. This is testament to its importance. But together with the defining the measures in the improve phase, it forms the middle of the A3, the connection between what the problem is and what we're ultimately going to do about it. It is a critical step and it requires us to think divergently where we're very creative and we take a lot of ideas and options on board, and convergently where we're actually trying to isolate what are the specific causes we wish to actually address, the ones we believe will make a difference. If this isn't correctly done, the countermeasures that we will subsequently implement will not be focused and effective. Let's just consider the elements of analyze. We've got to look at data to find the root cause for the defects or the opportunities for improvement. In that, we've got to look at the gap in our performance and understand what's in that gap. We need to look at the variation that's within our processes and see how we can reduce that. So what are the sources of variation and how do we look at them? And ultimately, we'll need to do convergent thinking and prioritize what we need to improve. The target is root cause. This can be very elusive. For some problems, there may be more than one root cause. So we can select the most cost-effective, quickest to implement, and move on to our improve phase. While for other problems that relate to complex dynamic systems and processes, we will need to select the most significant cause, those that we believe will influence the performance and give us a result. To do this, we're going to depend on tools. A number of tools that we can look at in the analysis phase are the 5 whys. This is very effective where we have no data and we have a relatively simple problem to actually deal with. Then we have the cause and effect diagram where the problem is more complex, but again, we lack data. We have the interrelationship diagram, which allows us to look laterally about the relationships between the causes to see how the drivers are their outcomes. We can use FEMA, which takes data and allows us to take the brainstorming tools and formulates a roadmap that we can use to solve more complicated issues. Once we have data, we can start using Paretos to actually understand and separate the vital few from the trivial many and focus in on what are the areas we need to delve into to discover some of the root cause. Another statistical tool that we can use in this phase is looking at the scatter diagram, which indicates to us the strength of the relationship between cause and effect factors in what we do. The deployment of these tools is what we need to decide when we're actually doing our analysis. This is situational, so there's many ways we can think about it. So if we think about it at its most basic level, the analysis can be done using the 5 whys. This is where the problem is witnessed and the observation and the data are one and the same. However, most of our problems are complicated. So we need to use other tools to investigate and filter out the significant causes. So for me, the cause and effect diagram is the center of the analysis phase. Where data is available, we should be leveraging it. So starting with the Pareto is desirable. This represents probably the most popular part when it comes to your data analysis. And most of the time, our investigation is about delving down into the problem. But for more complex problems, the causes may be related to each other. So be aware of this, and where necessary, we should be using the interrelationship diagram to actually analyze that relationship. The choice of path you use will depend upon your situation. Work with your mentor to decide what is the best path and what are the best tools to deploy in your analysis. Another situation that arises is if you have the IT systems and the performance data, you can use Pareto analysis to delve into the chain of causes. In this case, scatter chart can be used to test the strength of the cause and effect relationship. With this level of data, we should also be able to accurately estimate the benefits of mitigating these causes and understand if it's adequate to meet our target condition. In this case, the scatter chart can be used to test the strength of the cause and effect relationship, providing us with better insight and more certainty about the path we're choosing. With this level of data, we should also be able to accurately estimate the benefit of mitigating these causes and understand if that's adequate to meet the target condition we have already set. Another possible scenario we can have when it comes to analysis is complexity increases and more causes need to be considered. We can merge some of these tools and use FEMA analysis to document the causes and continually work to improve the situation that we have to manage. As a parting note and as a cautionary note, I want to actually draw your attention to the difference between complicated and complex. We need to understand where we're operating and what we're trying to do. A complicated problem or complicated situation, these problems have causes that can be individually distinguished. These causes, they can be addressed piecemeal, and in each input, there is a proportional output. So there is that relationship and the cause-effect relationship. The causes can be controlled and permanent solutions can be found. So this is where we want to operate when we practice our A3. We want to find these simple to complex situations and attack them. However, in many of our organizations, there's complexity. And when something is complex, it's different than complicated. In a complex environment, there's a network of multiple interactive causes that cannot be individually distinguished. They cannot be addressed in a piecemeal way. And we must take responsibility to address the entire system, how the whole lot interacts together and what the outputs are. In this environment, small inputs may result in disproportionate effects. The problems they present cannot be solved once and forever, as we desire to do with our A3. They cannot be controlled, but they require to be systematically managed. So we need our management systems in place to govern this. The best we can do is influence them, maintain an equilibrium that optimizes the performance. So in your selection of your A3 topic, work with your black belt, work with your organization to figure out what are the complicated issues and problems that we can extract and work on to smooth out the performance. I'd like to thank you for your time for watching this presentation and wish you all the best on your lean journey. Thank you very much.